जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन भ्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन भ्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बालदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 1, The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrat, text number 21. The verse is in prose order, little difficult to recite. I will recite. भगवानपि मुनया यतावत् उपकल्पिता पचितः प्रियव्रता नारदयोर् अविषमं क्ष्मानयो आत्मशम् अवस्थतम् अवान् मानसं क्षयम् अव्ययर्थं प्रवर्तयन् आगमत्. We'll read word to word meaning. Translation for good. Bhagavan, the most powerful Lord Brahma, Api, also, Manuna, by Manu, Yathavat, as deserved, Upakalpita Apachitihi, being worshipped, Priyavrata Naradayo, in the presence of Priyavrata and Narada, Avishamam, without aversion, Abhishami Kshamanayo, looking on, Atmasam, just suitable for his position, Avasthanam, to his abode, Avak Manasam, beyond the description of mind and words, Kshayam, the planet, Avyavahartam, extraordinarily situated. Pravartayan, departing. Agamat, returned. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Lord Brahma was then worshipped by Manu, who respectfully satisfied him as well as he could. Priyavrata and Narada also looked upon Brahma with no tinges of resentment. Having engaged Priyavrata in accepting his father's request, Lord Brahma returned to his abode Satyaloka, which is indescribable by the endeavor of mundane mind or words. Purport. Manu was certainly very satisfied that Lord Brahma had persuaded his son Priyavrata to take the responsibility for ruling the world. Priyavrata and Narada were also very satisfied. Although Brahma had forced Priyavrata to accept the management of worldly affairs after breaking his vow to remain brahmachari and completely engaged in devotion service, Narada and Priyavrata did not look upon Brahma with resentment. Narada was not at all sorry that he had been frustrated in making Priyavrata a disciple. Both Priyavrata and Narada were exalted personalities who knew how to respect Lord Brahma. Therefore, instead of looking upon Brahma with resentment, they very feelingly offered him their respect. Lord Brahma then returned to his celestial abode known as Satyaloka, which is described here as being impeccable and being unapproachable by words. It is stated in this verse that Lord Brahma returned to his residence, which is as important as his own personality. Lord Brahma is the creator of this universe and most exalted personality within it. His lifetime is described in Bhagavad Gita Sahasrayuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Vidu. The total duration of the four yugas is 43 million years, and when that is multiplied by 1000 times, it equals 12 hours in the life of Brahma. Therefore, we cannot factually comprehend even 12 hours of Brahma's life. So, to say nothing of the 100 years that constitute his entire lifetime, how then can we understand his abode? The Vedic literature describe that in Satyaloka there is no birth, death, old age, or disease. In other words, since Satyaloka is situated next to Brahmaloka or Brahman effulgence, it is almost as good as Vaikuntha Lord Brahma's abode is practically indescribable from our present status. Therefore, it has been described as Avan Manasa Gochara, or beyond the description of our words and imagination of our minds. The Vedic literatures thus describe the abode of Lord Brahma. Yadvai paradhyam tad upamritesyam na yatra soko na jara na mrityur natir na chodvegaha. In the Satyaloka, which is situated many millions and billions of years away, there is no lamentation, nor is there old age, death, anxiety, or influence of enemies. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतलिं श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, seeking blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on the Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever I heard from superiors, as a purification of my heart and as a service to all the Vaishnavas. So, we often hear Bhagavatam contains everything. So, here is one particular episode that a brahmachari is changing ashram. You know? So, he is as a not just brahmachari, he is sannyasi almost, and he is becoming grahastha. Of course, that is also for the Lord's service only, for the sake of service. So, previously I was hearing once from a spiritual master in one of the lecture. He is saying that if you see, Narada Muni is a lifelong brahmachari, and the same Narada Muni, when it comes to Chaitanya Leela, he became Srivas Thakur. He's a grahastha, you know, and Hanumanji is a brahmachari. He also in Chaitanya Leela became Murari Gupta as grahastha. You know, if you see in that way, so whatever it required for the service of the Lord, they did it. You know, they did not, stick to their vows or whatever. So similarly here actually we see the episode of Maharaj Priyavrat. He is son of Swayambhu Manu, and he chosen to renounce order of life and practicing renounced order of life. And at one point of time, there is nobody to rule the world. At that time, he was requested to come back and accept the responsibilities. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Accept the responsibilities of the king. So he was hesitant to for that, and finally, by the intervention of Lord Brahma, he finally accepted. So that is a point till we have come here. And if you see one of the theme in our philosophy in Prabhupada books, it always repeated theme is actually about Yukta Vairagya. So many times that sloka comes that you know we are not to renounce anything. We have to use everything in Krishna's service. Prapanchika Vishya Buddhya Hari Sambandhi Vastuna Mukshipi Parityago Yukta Vairagya Uchate. And Prabhupada gives the Palgu Vairagi, Yukta Vairagi, and Bhogi. Three things are always mentioned. That Prabhupada gives the example about hmm, that somebody lost a money purse and that is lying on the road, and a person who is a bhogi, he happened to see, and he thinks today I was very fortunate. है ना? Morning morning किसका मुंह देखा ना सुबह सुबह I got this money purse which is full of money, and he takes it and enjoys for himself. That is called bhogi actually. He is a not honest person. He is not dishonest person. He is. And Prabhupada tells about the second person is called Tyagi. He sees that money purse and he sees actually it doesn't belong to me, so I should not touch. That we say na that garbage, you should see others' property as garbage. So he sees it as garbage and he doesn't touch it. So he is an honest person but not intelligent person. Prabhupada says he is an honest person but not intelligent. And the third person is a devotee bhakta, and he sees and he sees some address is there, something, and he finds out the person and gives him. In that way, he gave it to that person to whom it belongs to actually. So he is both honest and intelligent also. So in that way, Prabhupada always says about Yukta Vairagya. So everything belongs to Krishna. So you should use everything in the service of God. So in that way, devotee is honest and intelligent also. But the problem comes whenever it comes to the question of Yukta Vairagya. A sincere devotee always thinks actually, I am not that much self-controlled or matured in my sadhana. So he always want to keep distance. He always thinks Nadanam Najanam Na Sundarim. You know, that is only better actually. Don't be after you know money and followers and all these things. So because I am not that much qualified, so it may happen that actually I may take up the person and want to give that person. On the way, I get a desire to. My mind may change. Otherwise, I may feel let me keep some money and give something, you know, or something can happen actually. That is because conditioned soul. Something for me and something for God. So in that way, in Little Krishna, that show actually in those days, Indra ke liye mere liye, something like that. you know, it is shown in that. So in that way, there is a danger is there actually. A sincere sadhaka always detects that danger which is there, even though it is said good intentions are not good enough. Our intentions are good, but sometimes we are overpowered by circumstances and everything. So Priyavrati is very very careful actually. Even though opportunity is good, but no, still I am not that much you know exalted person to handle this service. So he is not in a mood to accept that post and position. So this is what happens actually in this world. Some people who are very very qualified to accept the post and position, they don't want that post and position. They are very very fearful. Some people are not at all qualified for the post and position, and they are after the post and position. We want it, we want it. So that is the world in which we are living actually. The truly competent person and qualified person is really fearful and careful to not to handle that. But they are really qualified. They are to be kept, but they are extremely careful. You know. So this is what happens actually in this world. If you see in the uh, story of Madhavendra Puri also, you know, he just want to serve the Lord, and once for the service of the Lord, he is going for getting the chandan. So at that time, he happens to go to the Remuna, and there, Lord steals the kheer for him. So at that time, Madhavendra Puri becomes very, very fearful actually. Now this news comes and people start glorifying me and everything. I may become proud, So let me not stay in this place. know, you know, if your condition soul something happens like that, he'll take videos and put in social media and want to become famous, But he runs away from this place actually. By morning, I should not be staying here. So he runs away from this place. So, but actually, that fame goes with him, even though he runs away. That goes even ahead of that. And when he reaches Jagannath Puri, many people come to know about Madhavendra Puri. So he uses that fame in getting the chandan for the Lord. He uses that fame also for the service of the Lord, and he does the service. So in that way, uh, great souls are very very competent. Actually, they are very careful in in dealing with metal energy, and they very carefully use that in the service of the Lord. And in the first canto, Prabhupada, in the teachings of Queen Kundi, he gives the example about Sanatana Goswami actually. So he had a touchstone and he kept it in dustbin. So he is also very exalted person actually. He could use the touchstone for building that Radha Madan Mohan temple also, right? So, but he kept it, let it be there. So future some donor came and no, Mr. Kapoor, and he got it done through him, but he didn't touch it. you know So very interesting actually, very exalted personality, but he didn't. He could have used it. Yukta Vairagya principle. Even Rupa Goswami only said Yukta Vairagya principle. You know? And there Prabhupada writes actually, Sanatana Goswami first want to teach us first of all about Vairagya. First comes Vairagya, then comes about Yukta Vairagya. So our Vairagya will be tested actually when you are doing Yukta Vairagya. When you use things in the service of God, actually, our real Vairagya is tested at that time. So, what happens actually, a conditioned soul, he justifies his sense gratification program with the Yukta Vairagya principle. That's what happens in this world actually. So it's not that we want it for the service of the Lord, we want it for our sense gratification. And we say, भगवान की सेवा के लिए we require this, no? आज ठाकुर जी पिज्जा खाएंगे, So like that, we use Krishna consciousness as a justification actually to fulfill our sense gratification. Of course, that is also, if you are doing within some parameters, it is okay. But if it goes beyond certain limits, then that is also actually is dangerous actually. So that's what Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Instructions. Even uh, in the name of Mahaprasad, if you are trying to satisfy your tongue, that's also comes under uh, Jihva Vegam. you know. So in that way, it is Yukta Vairagya is a principle actually. It is, we can see in the case of in the case of Priyavrat Maharaj, he is very very cautious actually, not to get entangled. So in Bhagavatam we see such examples actually about cases who are extremely careful in dealing with material energy. That the first example comes about Sukadeva Goswami. You know, he doesn't want to come out of the wombs of mother only because this world is very dangerous. So even Lord Krishna came and gave blessings that nothing will happen. You know, still when he came out, he started going towards forest. you know, no. So extremely careful in dealing with the Maya. And the other example comes about Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata had some bitter experience in his past life just because of one deer. You know, one life got wasted, and again he became deer. Again he became Jadabarta. So now extremely careful. You know. So in that way, he maintained extreme caution. So in that way, that we see that kind of examples also in Bhagavatam. So here also in the case of Priyavrat, actually is also very you want to be under guard actually. Why to get entangled? Go back now. I am doing well. Under the shelter of Narad Muni, chant and be happy. So why to get entangled into the again affairs of the universe and no. So but when Brahmaji assured that our blessings are there with you, so you should take up this service. Then Priyavrat accepted actually this service of becoming the ruler of the king. So this is the ideal consciousness actually. Anybody should accept any service that I am not so much qualified because my mind and senses, my motivations are not so pure. But our superiors are there to help me if I go wrong and to correct me and protect me. So with their blessings and guidance, I am willing to accept this service. So in that way, Priyavrat actually is showing very ideal behavior actually, that how to accept any service. And again, here one interesting thing here it is said actually, uh, Priyavrata and Narada also looked upon Brahma with no tinges of resentment. You know, Priyavrata accepted it happily. Sometimes we accept out of some pressure. Somebody told me to do, I don't want to do, but I have to do what to do. You know, so it is like, you know, it is dissatisfied, but doing actually. Sometimes ऐसा like that people say हमको फंसाया गया you know you know हमारे ऊपर रगड़ा गया something is rubbed upon me or I was implicated into this I don't want to do you know sometimes it happens actually, especially happens when something goes wrong. When something goes wrong after that, then we say I don't want to do, but no, these fellows, no, they forced me and told me that no, nothing will happen, no, and so see what happened. So like that actually we you know get back to them. So something happened also here in case of Priyavrat somewhat, but he accepted it with wholeheartedly. There is no grudge or no resentment, you know like that. Sometimes it happens actually our superiors tell something to us for our own good, and we also without with some knowledge upon superiors we accept afterwards. We will not be able to follow the instructions wholeheartedly or put our full. Sometimes the result will be little different. At that time we become angry at our superiors because you told me, so it happened like this. So that cases we can see in Bhagavatam only. The same Brahmaji, that Daksha, he doesn't want to give his daughter Sati to Lord Shiva. First of all, but Mother Sati is interested to get married to only Lord Shiva. And now finally Brahmaji also tells actually, yeah, you marry Mother Sati to Lord Shiva. So he marries, but he's not happy doing it because he is not so happy with Lord Shiva and his social status. You know, how he looks like, what he does and activities. He's not convinced he's a Vaishnava actually. So when he saw that Lord Shiva did not offer him right respect actually, at that time he became so upset that he scolded Brahma also in one sense indirectly. Because this Parameshti, this fellow also recommended, I don't want to, you know, marry my daughter to Lord Shiva. And even this fellow also, recommended. So like that he indirectly taunts, Lord Brahma also. So in that way, sometimes person does without any proper understanding or conviction. At that time something goes wrong, actually they blame the superior. Because you told actually I did, you're wrong only first of all. And some similar case also we can see in Bhagavatam, that story of Shamantaka jewel. Shatrajit is having Shamantaka jewel. At that time Lord Krishna tells it is not good actually to have that jewel with you. That will be useful if you can give to the king, King Ugrasena, so that benefit can be to the whole kingdom. But Shatrajit is not so much happy to give, because he want to show off that I have this jewel and everywhere like that. So one point of time that Satrajit's brother Prasena happened to take the jewel and go into the forest. At that time, lion kills him and takes the jewel. At that time, Satrajit thinks that Krishna asked me before to give it, so I did not give. So that means what? He only took it. He is the person who actually who took it. Can you imagine how dots get connected? uh, and finally, Lord Krishna had to go through big channel of going to that Jambavan and killing Jambavan, you know, and marrying Jambavati and give back to that jewel to Satrajit. Please take it back. I don't want. I did not took it. So Satrajit feels very very guilty, and he understands actually how to rectify mistake. So he offers Satyabhama and again Shamantaka jewel also to Lord Krishna. So Krishna accepts Satyabhama and he understands this fellow is giving Shamantaka jewel, but he is not happy giving. He's still having the unhappiness. So you keep it with you only. I don't want. I'm accepting only Satyabhama like that. Lord Krishna takes marry Satyabhama. So so finally, that we know the story that Satyajit also got killed by that some big plot happens and everything. So in that way, actually, the person sometimes acts against his interest, you know. And there is a saying in English: a person is convinced against his will if is of same opinion still. you know. So, but actually, if you see in the life of great souls, they are beyond this hypocrisy, you know and they are very very clear actually. Something is right, wrong is wrong. So when they are wrong, they don't feel any kind of disappointment or something, grudge, how can is that I was proved wrong. So they will never feel that. We see in the case of Srila Prabhupada that in his first meeting, he get an encounter with his divine grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. At that time, Prabhupada was proven wrong that he is after political independence of the country. At that time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur convinces him actually this is very lower purpose. You know, there is a very greater purpose is there, that is spreading of Krishna consciousness. At that time, it is a big revelation for Prabhupada actually. Yeah, it is true. You know, and he says, I am very happy to be defeated by my spiritual master. And in the first encounter, and he says actually, I met very nice saintly person today. I'm so happy. And also he says that I'm so happy that the mission of Lord Chaitanya is in the hands of very very competent person. So like that, Prabhupada is so happy actually. He was defeated. He did not hold any kind of disappointment. "Arey, I was proven wrong," or something like that actually. So this is what actually in the case of very exalted people actually, they are so happy if they are, if they know something better than their current understanding. So they think actually we got to know bigger picture of the reality. Otherwise we are living in our own narrow world. So and we see that in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, if, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, when it comes to that one person comes, Rupa Kaviraj, he asks for debate, and you know, and they say actually, what is the use of debating? Actually, we accept that we are defeated, and he asks actually, please sign. They will sign also, and he goes around and boasts actually that I defeated Rupa Sanatana and everything. They are not so much worried about it actually. Array, how is it that actually is propagating like that? They are completely peaceful. And even Jiva Goswami get disappointed actually, and he goes and challenges, And when he comes, Rupa Goswami says actually, you are very proud actually because of that. You want to prove your scholarship. So you are not qualified to stay in Vrindavan, please get out. So can you imagine actually? At that time, Jiva Goswami did not hold any grudge towards Rupa Goswami. "Hey, how is it that I am doing only for your service? You know, you didn't understood me." Hmm. So there is no tinge of resentment or disappointment in the case of Jiva Goswami. So like that, actually, it is very interesting actually how Maharaj Priyavrat accepted the service. So actually, Prabhupada writes that the instructions and service of spiritual master is the wealth of the disciple. So, but we should understand actually to take the wealth also, we should be also rightly situated. Otherwise, the wealth of spiritual master, what he gives, it becomes like a burden. When Prabhupada goes to New Vrindavan, at that time he sees the deities of Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, and he sees so Lord Krishna and Radharani came as a beautiful American boy and girl to attract all Americans. Uh, and he says, very interesting, there are two ways in our spiritual life. One is Pancharatrika Vidhi and another is Bhagavata Vidhi. Bhagavata Vidhi is actually about chanting of the holy names, reading scriptures, discussing all these things. Pancharatrika Vidhi is centered around deity worship. And he says, if you don't do our Bhagavata Vidhi nicely, then a day will come, you think actually, why my Guru has put a burden upon me, these deities. The Vigraha become Galagraha. The Vigraha becomes a stone around your neck. you know. So I have to do because Guru gave this and I cannot go away anywhere. I have to do this service. So like that you feel as a burden. Your service will become burden actually. So like that, Prabhupada says actually. So in that way, it can happen actually in our life also. Sometimes uh, anything can become burden. Spiritual life can become burden. So to the degree we don't understand, it is a great wealth we are inheriting from our spiritual master and Vaishnavas. Here, Prabhupada also inherited this great wealth from his spiritual master, and he distributed that wealth all over the world very liberally. So Prabhupada also gave us this wealth in the form of his teachings and these books. So this month is month of book marathon. So we are distributing our wealth, what we have received in inheritance, very profusely and liberally. Many devotees are going from place to place, and interestingly, that Prabhupada said actually that four principles Prabhupada gave. The first principle he said actually, books are the basis. So our life should be based on these scriptures, how we should lead our life. So if books are not the basis, one devotee is telling, what is the basis? The basis is checkbooks are the basis. you know, if books are not the basis, what the basis is? Checkbooks are the basis. you know. So when you base our life based on the books, then Prabhupada said utility is the principle. So utility is again Yukta Vairagya, it comes actually. How can use anything accept what is favorable and reject what is unfavorable? That is, utility is the principle. So what happens if books are not the basis? Then what becomes the principle is facility is the principle. So whatever is comfortable, let us accept. Whatever is little uncomfortable, reject it. So the principle completely get changes. That is from utility to facility. And the third thing is their purity is the force. It is told. So we have to accept the teachings of the pure souls. So then what becomes the force is majority is the force. Yeah. Whatever many people say, that itself is the force actually. That's we get carried away. Yeah. Why? Because the books are not the basis. And ultimately, Prabhupada told about preaching is the essence. So then what remains is only cheating only remains in this world. Cheating becomes the essence. So in that way, they completely these four things are replaced by these four things: checkbooks, facility, majority, and cheating. So in that way, what is happening in this world is only cheating is only happening actually. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says actually this world is full of cheaters and cheated, and everybody is initiated in one sampradaya that is called Vanchita Vanchita Sampradaya. you know, some people want to cheat, and some people want to be cheated. So there is one sampradaya is always there, and everybody is initiated in that sampradaya and faithfully following that principles. So in that way, it is our great opportunity to uh, share this wealth of wisdom and awaken the people, and again bring them back to the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. And we can see very wonderful example actually of life of Srila Prabhupada. He personified this principle of Yukta Vairagya actually. So he exhibited Yukta Vairagya to the topmost level actually. So it is not possible actually for any conditioned soul to engage that much material energy in Krishna's service actually. So that shows actually the extent of his great renunciation. His renunciation is so great actually. So nothing, no material thing actually can bewilder him. He used anything and everything in the service of Krishna. So in that way, we are given this opportunity by Prabhupada to understand this philosophy and share. So these are some few thoughts about this verse. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Any questions and comments? Time is also over. We'll stop here. Thank you all very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.